Hi,
Hi,
Trina.
welcome everybody to Mother Industrialist live show where we talk about entrepreneurship, parenting, and life. I'm the host, Kenneth. I'm also the author of Mother Industrialist, Perfecting the Balance Between Motherhood and Business Success, and also the owner of KC Creative Marketing, where we provide designing services and marketing consulting. So today is episode 20. So today I have this really phenomenal lady that I've connected with her. She's really busy and she really make time to come onto the show. And she's a mother of two big boys. They are about in their 20s, and also she's the author of upcoming book Beyond Out of the Box Thinking. And she's a philanthropy. She's a speaker, and she's also a proud owner of Star Healthcare Registry. So without further ado, let us welcome Valerie. Hi, Valerie. Hi,
Hi,
welcome.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. How about you?
Great,
Yeah,
great,
thanks for
great.
coming onto the show. And really, I know that really busy. After this, you're going to have another appointment. Really thank you for making time and really connecting with you is really something that is a blessing. So before we start the show, there's always a tradition, which is every guest at the end of the day will get to pose this question of the day out to the audience and also to the next guest. So before we kickstart the show, are you ready for the question of the day?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
so the question of the day is, how are you going to teach your children to follow their dreams and make money out of it? Okay, so you got a question? Okay, I repeat again. How are you
Yes.
going to teach your children to follow their dreams and make money out of it? So give some time to think about it while I go onto Facebook and see if we are connected successfully. So give me a while. Let me just see if we are
Okay,
connected successfully.
okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I can hear myself. So let me see if I can hear you. Okay, I see people coming in on live. So welcome. Okay, let's hear your part.
Hmm.
Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. So,
Okay.
Valerie, are you ready with your answer to the question of the day?
Yes, I am.
Okay, give it to us.
Would be to lead, to teach by example. You lead
Mm,
by example. Your
mm,
children will follow you.
mm.
So,
That's short and sweet.
oh yeah,
Wow, so it's leading by example and
yeah. Well, lead with
okay.
your example when your kids learn
Mm,
from you.
okay.
So what you do is what they're going to mimic. So
Mm-mm,
if we teach them by our examples
mm,
of becoming an entrepreneur,
mm,
um, to handle their finances,
mm,
um, then they will follow
mm-mm,
that particular guideline.
mm,
So you have to have you have to strategically teach them,
mm,
and that comes with structure and and everything else. So
mm.
yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's really short and sweet. That is the shortest answers ever, which is really good. Really straight to the point. And thank you for the awesome answer. And now we can kickstart the show, Valerie. So before we
Okay.
start the show, before we go on, is maybe you can do a short introduction about yourself, um, your background, and how do you get yourself started with the business, and also what were you doing prior to you even starting out on your own. So, especially for those who are watching and seeing you for the first time, maybe you can do that, the short
Mhm.
introduction. And I see some friends that is coming on is there's Catherine. Catherine that's coming in. She's also a fellow author. Yeah.
Okay.
So, hi,
Hi.
Catherine. Hi, welcome. So, Valerie, so can you do a short introduction of yourself and also share a bit more about you, about your background?
Okay. All right. I'm a mom of two young men. I was once married and divorced. I've also been a widow.
Mm,
I've been working in the nursing industry as clinical liaison, business
mm,
development. I've been in ICU, CCU, PEDS,
mm,
and um, what actually, this was prior to me actually owning my business.
mm, mm.
So
Okay, Valerie, we are
I've been
losing you.
in
Yeah,
many different
okay, we are losing you.
areas of, can you hear can you
Yeah,
hear me now?
I can hear you now,
That
but
better?
we were losing you just a
Hmm.
bit. Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe there's
So
some
yes,
interfering.
sorry.
No problem.
I've been in many different areas in the nursing arena. I've also was a clinical instructor in California at 4D Success College in Colton, California. So I've been in different areas in nursing.
Mm,
Um, that is my, prior to the business
mm,
actually starting up. Mhm.
mm. So, as previously when we connected, you was sharing with me that you were very much involved. Like you started off with nursing, the medical industry, and really taking care of the patient and all that. So, how long have you been in this industry, and before you started your business?
I've been in this in nursing industry for over 23 years.
Wow.
And yeah, I've dealt with my specialties are
Mm,
pediatric
mm, mm,
and geriatric. So that's the part of my nursing career. That's my passion,
mm.
children and elders. So
Wow.
yeah.
So which is
Hmm.
both the young and the old, the elderly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Which
Hmm.
is where they need the most care, and you were sharing with me that you started your first, which is a daycare. Is it? Was it a daycare? Yeah. So
Yes.
how did that idea comes about, and how long ago was that?
Oh wow. Oh, that's actually my daycare that was in my building
Hmm.
um, in Mississippi was probably about like 8 or 9 years ago. But
Mm-mm.
I actually started way before then with my first son, which is 26 years old now. So
Wow.
he was probably like about 4 or 5. But I've
Hmm.
always had a passion for children.
Mm-mm.
I love children, and this with the different day-to-day situations going on with kids in daycare centers, as far as being abused, mistreated,
Hmm.
neglected. I just took it upon myself to say, hey, I have a loving heart, and my heart is big enough to, share with other kids. So I just decided to open it up. And I actually, when I started it, I said, you know what, I'm gonna run this in the ad and Clarion Ledger. And I ran it, and I started getting so many different phone calls, and
Hmm.
people would actually, bring their kids to the home and drop them off, and I would feed them real well. And from that, I would go, not just the feeding, but I taught them as well, because I went on and did some development courses for
Hmm.
childcare,
Wow.
childcare development. So that was the beginning. But when I opened my center, it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and I
Hmm.
opened it in Byram, Mississippi. It was actually the old Kaleidoscope building.
Wow, wow. So
Mhm.
how did that look? You have the idea of taking care of the kids and having them and also to teach them. And have you do you have any reference beforehand before you even start the daycare, or the idea just came into you? You felt that you could convert it into a daycare instead. How did that idea
Mhm.
comes about?
The ideal came. Well, my the ideal was because of, like I stated, the problems that was developing within the
Hmm.
industry, and also me wanting to be at home with my own child
Oh.
as well. So that helped out a lot. But I did a lot of researching. I talked with different owners of daycare centers.
Mm-mm,
I had one of my aunt's childhood friends owned the daycare center, which was Pat's Child Care
mm-mm,
in Presidential Hill, and I had an opportunity to even work up under her during the summertime.
mm.
During my high school years as well. So I had some of that knowledge up under my belt. But yeah,
Wow.
with researching,
Mm.
uh, allowing people to mentor you, and continuing to study, I learned more and more about the daycare industry.
Wow. So you
Mhm.
really did homework and really research, and because there were similar business model that's happening around you, which you could take reference, I assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So because you've seen people have been there, done that, that's why you felt, hey, why not? I can do a daycare, and at the same time, because you were always in that nursing, taking care of people, the kind of your profession, and I believe that it could be something of your passion, like to really
Right.
taking care, and at the same time, you see there's a purpose because
Mhm.
there's a market for it, and there
Mhm.
is a need for it. That's why you jump in, and with your passion together with the purpose, you started a
Right.
business, and you know that is a business with passion, with purpose, and you can monetize, you can profit from it. Am I right to say that? Because
That's correct.
it's something that people has done it. So is there any point of time that you felt that, hey, I should not be charging that much, or you felt that it's reasonable for you to charge at a certain price? Was there any point? Mm,
you know um in business, you're going to go back and forth with certain things, and you always want to give an individual a good product.
mm,
You cannot overprice it, but you cannot underprice it as well.
mm,
And that is where your researching is going to come in at. You're going to network with others in the same industry as
mm,
well, and you have to know your clientele, and you have to know your area. And the only way you're going to know that is by studying and
mm.
researching.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So how long did you do that research and that really like network and also to understand the industry, or because you were working and you really
Mhm.
understand, you've been hearing, you've been observant, how did that comes about? Like how long did you do the research, or you were doing the research while you're working in the industry, and that's where you get a lot of insight, the information from there? How does it comes about?
It that you cannot put a time
Hmm.
frame on it, and as long as you're in business, you're going to always
Hmm.
uh, continue to educate yourself. Even
Hmm.
in the arena that I'm in now, we're constantly going to different conferences all over the United States, and talking with different nursing agencies. And that's the same thing that I did with the daycare center.
Hmm.
So you can't put an actual time frame on it, because you're always educating.
Hi Valerie, we lost you again.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I said your internet connection is unstable. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear
You're
you.
you're always constantly educating yourself.
Hmm.
It's not so much about the big bucks, but it's about what kind of product that
Hmm.
you can produce, to the people and to your clientele.
Hmm. Wow. Okay.
So my studying is, my dad used to joke a lot, and he says, "Girl, you're going to be in school for the rest of your life," and and in nursing you will, because medicine change every
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
Education change. You
Yep.
cannot stay stagnant in the same place.
Hmm.
You have to be able to be creative and be willing to learn. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
so
Like what you
yeah.
say is true that business in terms of education is always constantly changing, and you always have to be
Mhm.
constantly moving forward, and also to upgrade yourself. And
Mhm.
Because for you, is it like because your business has to relate with something that you've been working as a profession,
Mhm.
as a nurse in
Mhm.
nursing, and you move on to your business. Was it a very smooth transition for you to move from employee to the entrepreneur? Was it smooth for you because you were in the same
No, what?
industry?
You know what?
No.
No, no.
How was it like? Because there's always a myth that if let's say you're in that industry, and for you to move into the same industry doing a business out of it is going to be maybe like a piece of cake, or is something
Mhm.
that is easy. But hearing from you, why isn't it so? Maybe you can share more with us, and why isn't it? Why is that big difference?
It's not an easy transition from employee to owner, especially when you love what you do.
Hmm.
Because I oftentimes find myself constantly working, but you have to transition yourself into that ownership, and
Hmm.
that will take time.
Hmm.
If you've never been an owner,
Yep.
it's going to take time that for you to transition into that. So you have to trust the process of it, and
Hmm.
that's why I said it's okay to be a student every
Hmm.
day. We have to learn how to sit at the feet of those that may have braids that passed before you,
Hmm.
and sit at their tutelants, and continue to study and
Hmm.
continue to trust that process into that position. So I wouldn't be fair to the mothers if I would tell them that it was easy, but I will say that the process is worth it. It's worth
Hmm.
every bit.
Wow.
I
Wow.
wouldn't change it for the I wouldn't change it for the girl. It really is. It's a wonderful transition.
Hmm.
And like I said, you have to be teachable
Yep.
and you have to be willing to learn. It's
Hmm.
not a thing of, hey, I'm the owner, or hey, I'm the boss.
Yep.
Sometimes people get that they get into that position and they want people to, hey, you do as I say. No, you have to have that mindset where your mind is open and you're
Hmm.
even willing to learn from your employees, from the clients that you come in contact with every day, because God bring people our way every single day, and it's not by a mistake.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Yep.
intentionally, and that's why I tell people to live life intentionally and on purpose.
Yep, that is absolutely right, and that's also bring us to the topic of the day, which is expanding beyond normal parameters. And like you have shared, like being an employee, moving on and transiting to an entrepreneur, like a businesswoman, businessman, is not as easy. You need to expand, and also you need to keep on constantly learn the
Mhm,
trade, to even learn to take ownership, which is very
mhm,
important. Because I realized, like because of my past years experience working with small medium enterprise, and
mhm,
also marketers, and even bosses of new startup. They always have this thought that, hey, I'm the boss, I call the shot, I dictate everything. But if if you are just starting your own business, you are the
mhm,
same as an employee, which is
mhm,
learning all the skills to build up the business. So
mhm,
that's where the expanding, and you were saying that to be teachable, because
mhm,
stepping into entrepreneurship, there's a lot of things that you need to learn, and it's not just by textbook. It's a lot by on the ground. And for you,
mhm.
moving from a daycare, a business doing daycare, until now, how much, how should put it, how is your business now? That means the scale. Because if I remember correctly, you were saying that you have a team, you have how many staff to date. So how does it transit to now? Like how does it move from like maybe single handling your initial business and how it moves to where you are today, your business?
It once again, like I said earlier, it was a process, Kenneth.
Mm,
And even with that process, you learn to trust it. You
mm,
know, you go from yourself and you working 80 hours, sometime even more hours a day. You're burning your night oil at night, and
mm,
you know, and it can even get frustrating at time because in the beginning you feel like, well, people should understand. Well, people don't always understand, and and you can't get upset about that because if they have not owned, they don't quite understand it, unless you've come up in a home where a mother or father was an entrepreneur, or
mm,
and in my case my father was, he owned his
mm,
own trucking company. So we had to
mm,
work within the family business. I learned different things from my dad. I
mm,
learned in 1986, my dad wanted me to come from Mississippi back to California to help with his trucking company, and he talked to me about a adult daycare then. And who would
mm.
have ever known? Just a year ago, I opened up my first adult daycare. So I was learning about adult daycare 30 years ago, but I
Wow.
was kind of afraid to kind of step out on it. But
Mm,
what you're made of is what's going to come out anyway,
mm,
and
mm.
those are called gifts.
Yeah.
Those are our purpose here
Mm,
in life, you know and that's the gift that's already within us, but we have to trust the process and allow it to be cultivated. And so with that being said, that transition wasn't easy either, because when you're looking at paying from one employee to 40 to
mm,
50 employees, and then you have to learn, even though you hire these people in the position, as far as doing your taxes,
mm,
doing your payroll,
mm.
those are things that you still have to learn
Yes.
yourself. And don't be afraid of it. Fear is going to come, it's going to set in, but that's to offset you
Mm,
from what God literally have for you. So you have to, I'm reminded of this thing in the Bible where he says, to put on your whole armor. And that is preparing you for war. So he never intended for us to run from anything, but to charge forward. So if you keep going forward in spite of what is coming at you or what obstacles are coming your way, just continue to say in your heart, as you focus, to trust the process. It may seem big. When I first came into the thing of payroll, I'm like, oh my God, payroll. And then when you hear the IRS says to you, hey, no matter what your accountant do, no matter what payroll does, you are the owner and you're responsible for it. So you have to continue to study. I can't say it enough. You have to study, you have to research, you have to be up on things, and you can't just allow someone to run your company. You have to be in it. I know Oprah Winfrey, she still signs her checks and she still look at her checks. That
mm.
means that she's very involved in
Yeah.
her business,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she went through a process as well. So we have all these people that are before us that we can study, and you also have to surround yourself with not just your like-minded people,
Mm,
but people that are even have advanced
mm.
higher than
Even
you know
greater than
'cause you
you, smarter than you, whatever that's better
right,
than you.
right, absolutely, because you want to continue to go up and up and up. And then another thing for me with the business is, the business is just not for Valerie.
Mm,
It's helping others. It's helping in our community. When
mm,
you are able to bring someone in and hire them for a position, that's allowing them to take money, which I call bread, to their
oh,
table
mm-mm.
to feed their household. And then they're able to pay taxes as well, you see? And
Yep.
so that builds up your state and your community. So we have to learn that 101 with business.
Mm,
It's not just about yourself. Yes, it is a passion, but your gifts
mm,
are made to help others. And that's why it says your gift will make room for yourself, because
Hmm.
in the process of it helping you, you're also helping other lives as well.
Wow, wow. That's a very, very inspiring. Um, like you have shared, and it just kept me thinking that you kept emphasizing on the process and the process, and which is what a lot of entrepreneurs or maybe business owner that I see, they are not enjoying the process. They are not learning from the process. They are just wanting like, okay, I want to buy this Maserati. They just
Yeah.
have something as a goal, as an aim. But when the process get harder,
Mhm.
they give up,
Yeah.
or maybe they go all the way down into the deeps, or maybe they do not have sales for that month. They were struggling, and in the end most of them give up, or maybe to ring the
Mhm.
bell. And
Mhm.
what you mentioned on the process in the beginning, I was trying to catch what are you referring about the process, and as the more you will say that the process helped to build up your
Mhm.
skills, your
Mhm.
confidence, your ownership, and
Mhm.
during the process you are learning, growing to be a better version. In the
Mhm.
process you are also learning from people that are better than you, and you get
Mhm.
better every day. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's not about yourself. It's about
Mhm.
you helping others, so that
Mhm.
all of you, everybody can go forward, and also go for a common goal, which is a common
Mhm.
vision, which is
Mhm.
to have a better life, to create a better life for yourself and for your family members. And
Mhm.
that's what I see from you, because you're so passionate, and that's why your business have been running for many, many years, and it's
Mhm.
ongoing, it's getting better and better. And you were sharing me that you have a few businesses running, which is around the nursing, the daycare, and taking care of, and also providing nurses. So maybe you can share with us how is your business now? What does it consist of?
Right. Well, Star Healthcare, we have many different programs in
Mm,
that, where we deal with the E&D waiver program. We do private duty for newborns up to 18-year-olds with trachs, pigs. We also do respite. We do PCA. We do adult daycare.
mm, mm,
Um, just purchased our second transportation.
mm.
Um, and then we also go into the clients' homes. We're staffing at nursing homes, and we're
Wow.
trying to, we're going through another process of JACO to be
Mm,
approved for that, so we can deal with other nurse hospitals. I'm sorry. And then we're also in the process of, we've been working on for the past 9 months of starting our hospice and home health in Austin, Texas. So we
wow.
will be grazing Texas real soon, and we'll also have a branch and office in Dallas, Texas as well. So
Wow.
you see, it takes a team
Mm,
to do these things. And then we also partnership with another business, which I'll discuss that later.
mm.
But it's wonderful and it's exciting, and
Mm,
they're gonna that particular partnership would be covering the Mississippi area
mm,
as well as Los Angeles, California, and I am a California girl
mm.
originally, and Atlanta, Georgia as well. So as you can see, and I want to go back when you talked about the process, and the
Mm.
reason why I keep saying the process, because so many of us nowadays, we're living in this microwave world.
Yes,
We want things to be thrown
like that.
in real quick and done just like that, and we want the big house and we want the nice cars, but and you look at individuals sometimes and you can judge them wrong because you
Mm.
think, oh, this person, I want what they have, but you don't know what process they went through.
Yeah,
So before you covenant what someone else have, understand the process,
yeah.
and you have to say, hey, am I willing to go through that process? And I also have in my book a portion where I talk about the McDonald's,
Mm.
and that's a process, with the hamburger. You know, the hamburger, if you go in McDonald's and you look down there, there's a line. So there's a
Yes.
process. You know, the bun come out and then the patty goes on.
Yeah.
And then if you want onions, the onions go on in the cheese. So it's a process,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Before it
yeah.
goes into that wrapper and
Yeah.
you receive it and eat it. You see? But
Yes.
even in that process, they realized, hey, I can't do this business alone. So if I want their food to be out by the time that they order it and come through the drive-through window, all they have to do is pay, and that time is out within a minute or so.
Yep.
We got to get this process through here. You
Yep.
see? And so they kept at that process until they perfected,
Wow.
right? And
Yes.
so with that, they were able to hire someone as a cashier at the register to take the order. Once the order was taken, you have someone in the back that's reading the order. Once
Yep.
they read that order, they go through that process of preparing it, putting it in the bag, and out the window it goes. That's a process.
Yeah.
We cannot be a people that don't think that we're not going to go through a process if you want something great. That's what greatness is about. You know, it even talks about it in the Bible with a press, you know, the pressing of the anointing oil. That's a process. You know, you have to go through the fire. Once you go through the fire, you come out. You know, and that's the process. And it's okay to trust that process. We have to learn that it's okay to trust it. If you want to come from this side to that side, trust the process.
Wow. That is a really very big piece of advice and also some enlightenment. And I totally feel the part where you talk about the hamburger, how McDonald's, because recently I've been to Bangkok and I brought my daughter to this place called Kidzania. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
there's McDonald's teaching you going through the process. Like you have the patty, you have the buns, and the first thing you do is whether you want the onions. So they got the children to go through that process before they
Mm-hmm.
can have the burger itself. So
Right.
I was there literally watching them, and you can see that children are just being impatient. They just want the final product and they just want to get everything. But the staff was really nice that you have to have this before you have this, before you have this, before you have the whole burger, and you need to wrap it up with the wrapper. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
whole process, I could really resonate with you because it just happened. And that what makes McDonald's they their burger is not the most delicious burger, but it's the best selling burger ever in the world because of the process.
Because of the process.
Yes, yes, and you
Because
really spot on that. Yeah. And
Mhm.
it brings me back to why it one thing that I feel that is very funny is why does people have that microwave mindset where a lot of them has spent 10, 14 years of studying being in school
Mhm.
to get a degree, but they could
Mhm.
not even spend a year to build a business, to be patient and build a business. Yeah.
I think because the world have taught them
Mm.
that is quick, you
Yeah.
know, everything is quick. It should be
Mm.
quick, you know,
Mm.
go through it quick. Or, you know, people have learned um, from scheming games
Mm.
how to look at certain things and just pass everything else up
Yeah.
and feel like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I can get this real quick. But you don't see those individuals
Yeah.
um, longitude. They don't last long.
Mm.
It's quick,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But when you go through that process, even if I tell my kids, even if you fall
Mm.
or even if you fail, get back up. When you go back through that process and you see what it is that you missed out of the puzzle, you can easily plug that back in and then keep going,
Mm.
you know, because if you've done it before,
Yeah.
even in your falling, you'll be able to dust yourself off, get
Mm.
back up, and continue to move forward.
Mm.
But you cannot be afraid. You can't be afraid. So I think, you know, with answering your question, it's because of the mindset of some people
Mm.
and them watching things quickly take place in the world,
Mm-mm.
they think it's okay, but it's
Yep.
not.
Yep. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot for clarifying and also really going in and explain and coming from
Mhm.
your own experience. So what is the reason behind the success that you're achieving now? Because when you explain that what is your business doing now and where are you expanding to, it's a lot of things that you're handling now, but to you, you seems to be enjoying it. You seems to be um, very very good at it. You seems to be very at ease. What contributes to all that? Is it because you brought up in an entrepreneurial family where your dad has his own business? What is the reason, and what are the things that's contributing to your success today?
Kenneth, you said a good thing when you said it seems
Hmm.
to be
Hmm.
easy because it's not.
Hmm.
And there are times people don't see you in the late night hours crying,
Yeah.
trying to figure things out, trying to put pieces together. But once again, anything that I go through is worth it. And I always look at it as a teachable moment for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
And I didn't just start doing that. I had to learn that over time. And I
Hmm.
learned that from my father. I had two given parents.
Hmm.
My mother was always a given individual. My father taught us that you never think that you're better than anyone else.
Hmm.
You should be able to mingle with the higher as well as the lower, but you always keep yourself humble.
Hmm.
Okay. And so that's how he taught us. And I watched my dad. My dad, I mean, it was like he would make things happen, but he was to himself to a degree,
Hmm.
he knew everything from inside and out with the trucking company. And so that was my role model.
Hmm.
And along with, I have godparents that are entrepreneurs and different things. So I've learned from a lot of different people, but my main individual and main leader was my father.
Hmm.
And so, with that being said, even at night, after you get through crying, you gotta get up, jump up in the morning,
Yep.
5 a.m. You gotta put that smile on your face, and you have to keep going because at the end of the day, the bill collectors don't care about
Yeah.
what you're going through or about your tears. That employee, all they want their check,
Yeah.
and and these are the things, and you have to make good at it
Hmm.
because once you get into business, you have to understand and know this is
Hmm.
my company. You have to take ownership of that, and whatever comes, you have to be prepared for it. So that's why I said the process and learning. We
Hmm.
always have to be willing to learn. But there are times that are very hard,
Hmm.
and people will see that in the upcoming book as well.
Yep.
I share some of those things, and I share some that other people have as well. It wasn't always easy for Rockefeller.
Hmm.
It wasn't always easy for Ford. It wasn't always easy for the McDonald boys.
Yep.
I remember I know where their first McDonald was, it was in San Bernardino, California,
Hmm.
and that comes just from me once again researching and studying.
Yep.
And John Maxwell is one of my favorite
Hmm.
books.
Yep.
But that is, it may seem like it's easy, but another thing that works for me too, Kenneth,
Hmm.
is sometimes people don't even know from my posts I may be going through a terrible time,
Hmm.
but to see a smile on
Yeah.
someone else's face is $1 million for me.
Yep.
That's for me. So
Hmm.
every individual have to find something for themselves. I love motivating others,
Yep.
and so that's another piece that really keeps me going. And
Hmm.
then I even go back to those those motivational moments that I've posted up, and
Mm.
I apply it to my own self in my own life.
Wow, wow. So
Yeah.
basically, I've gotten a lot of the reason behind your success, which is a lot of stuff, but which is I wrote down a few, which is to trust the process and also
Hmm.
constantly learning, and
Hmm.
you have a role model, be like for your case is your dad, and also
Hmm.
one thing I find that is very very important for a lot of people is really to pick yourself up as soon as possible. Because
Yes.
yeah, so you mentioned on that, and also motivating other people, because by doing that you're also motivating yourself because it gives you energy. And these are things that I took away from you, and thank you for really sharing. And times really flies. We're also coming almost to the end of the show. So
Yes.
maybe you can share with us, because we the topic for today is expanding beyond normal parameters, which is basically coming out from the comfort zone. And what is your advice for mothers who are in the comfort zone, struggling? Because it's always comfortable not doing anything, but they knew that they need to make a change for themselves and also for their children and even for the family. So what is your advice for them?
My advice for them is I wrote a couple of notes and a couple of things down if you don't mind, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that stood out to me the most about 2 a.m. this morning was
Wow.
Catherine. It was 2
So
a.m.
yeah,
with
wow.
Catherine Johnson. Catherine Johnson,
Mm,
she worked for NASA. She was an
mm,
African American woman. And the thing that there was a saying that you may have heard this as well, that the sky is the limit.
mm,
People normally say, oh, the sky is the limit, but the sky is not the limit.
mm.
And the reason why I say it's not the limit is because it has been proven that man has walked on the moon, right?
That's right.
So that is not, we can go beyond that. And that's what the perimeters are. You can
Mm,
go beyond those walls and beyond those perimeters that people oftentimes may set for you
mm,
because they feel within themselves that they can't go no further than what they are. But you have to know and believe within yourself that you can,
mm,
because Neil Armstrong was the first man to
mm.
walk on the moon.
Yep.
But the way he was able to walk on the moon is because he had a woman amongst all those other men to calculate those numbers. Okay.
Wow.
And that was Katherine Johnson.
Wow, wow. Thanks for that really inspiring and also advice to all the women that they have to move beyond the parameters. They have to trust, they have to believe that they can go beyond that, and that is really important. And also, in order to believe, I believe that they have to be able to do the following things that you have shared, which is to trust the process, to keep on learning, and also have a
Mhm,
role model that you can follow,
mhm,
that who are better than you, smarter
mhm.
than you, and also to pick yourself up, because so that you can keep on constantly moving and not being dragged behind too much. And also
Right.
find something that could keep you burning, like for your case is to motivate other people so that the
Right.
motivation come back to you. and
Mhm.
and um what what do you see in the next 5 to 10 years for your business? Because you are in the nursing, the taking care, the daycare, and also both the children and also elderly. What do you see in your business for the next 5 to 10 years?
I see Star Healthcare as being one of the leading in our industry.
Mm,
I also see other branches of Star Healthcare opening up in
mm,
other cities as well. And I
wow,
also see us teaching younger children how to
mm,
be the younger generation
wow,
on how to become entrepreneurs and how to help build and cultivate in their community to
wow.
make it a better place for us all.
Wow, that's a lot of meaning. It's very 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 meaningful. Like in the next 5 to 10 years, and also I also see that even locally in Singapore, there's always a need for it. There's always
Mhm.
demand, but there wasn't any supply. So what you did is really, really phenomenal, and I'm really so blessed to have connected with you, and with you having the heart of gold and to move on with this with a great purpose. And you are really passionate. If not, you will not stay in the industry for so many years, 20 over years. And I really salute to you
Thank
for your heart, for your passion, and also you providing for other people, that at the same time you also gain to be able to have the power to really help a lot of people, because by you starting your business, you're creating jobs for people, that is helping people to bring bread back home, especially
Yes,
even at this time the economy. But what you are doing basically is something that is evergreen, which I see it as evergreen, because there's always demand for people being taken care of, especially for the baby boomers and even for the young children, where most of their
absolutely.
parents are not at home, are away at work. So
Mhm.
really, really inspiring, and I really hope that I could get you to share more. And because I know that you have another appointment upcoming, I do not want to hold you too much, and really look forward to connect with you in the later episode. Maybe we will cover other stuff. And really
Great.
thankful, Valerie, for coming on. And maybe you can share with us a bit about your book, and also how can they connect with you and to find out more information about you, your business, or even for your book, upcoming book.
Okay. They can contact us at
Hmm.
www.beyond dot I'm sorry, www.beyondoutoftheboxthinking.com.
Mm-mm.
Also, I'm at Facebook. Is Valerie Sims dot Griffin.
Mm-mm.
Also, we're at Facebook Beyond Out of the Box
Mm-mm.
Thinking as well. So
Mm.
they can contact us in any of those forms,
Mm-mm.
and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So for those who are watching, and thanks for those who are watching live, I will include all the links to connect with Valerie. And you can find out more from her. I will include the link in the comments also. So before we end the show, now it's time for the question of the day. So, Valerie, do you have your question of the day ready?
Yes, the question of today is mothers,
Hmm.
what are you waiting for?
Okay. What are you
Waiting
waiting
for
for?
to become an entrepreneur.
Hmm. Wow. Good. That's a very, very good answer. Cool. So, I repeat again the question of the day by Valerie, to the audience out there who are watching it live or watching the replay. The question of the day is, mothers, what are you waiting for to become an entrepreneur? So do post your answer below in the comment section. I will also post our Valerie question of the day in the comment section too. So we are looking forward for your answers. And also this question of the day will be posted to the next guest. And really looking forward for the next show. And at the same time, any last advice for mothers who are sitting on the fence and thinking into whether should they pursue their passion, and whether should they step into entrepreneurship? Any last advice for them, Valerie?
Yes, get off the fence, pursue your passion because your passion and purpose is your gift from God. Utilize your gift because your gifts will make room for yourself as well as others.
Wow, wow. Thanks a lot, Valerie, for your advice. Really inspiring. It's really it's always a how should I put it? It's a happy occasion to really chat with you. So inspiring, and a lot of meaning when I chat with you. A lot of things that I got into like that really inspire me. I really hope that all whatever that we shared in this episode will inspire you, for you to move out beyond your normal parameters, out from your comfort zone, and even step into something somewhere that is even more enriching and also empowering, which is which is to pursue your passion and also maybe to step into entrepreneurship, and what is stopping you. Like for Valerie, she has shared, and really thankful. So Valerie, once again, thank you for making time coming onto my show. Truly blessed to have you on the show, and despite you having your busy schedule, and also you making time. I know that you're not really feeling well, but you really make it for the show. I'm really so thankful, so blessed. Thank you very much, and I thank for those who came in and watched live, and for those who are watching replay, thank you very much. And we will see you in the next episode. Kenneth here signing off with Valerie. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Valerie. Bye bye. Thank you.